Bye. I thought I'd be able to do this video quickly and easily, but as I've thought about it, it's just turned into a really deep, philosophical hole. For those of you who haven't got time to watch the entire length of this video, however long it turns out being, in a nutshell, the reason I'm not going to sell out is because no amount of money is worth it if you hate yourself because of it. And I have met so many people who've made that mistake in life, and they've taken the money über alles, thinking that it will solve all their problems, and not thinking that it will bring them new problems, and not thinking that it's going to affect their relationships with their family and with their friends and with their colleagues, and that everyone will treat them differently, and that actually they already had what they needed before they sold out, and selling out was just a mistake. There is one scenario in which I will sell Best Agent to the highest bidder, and that is if it doesn't work. If I, for whatever reason, don't succeed in making it become an established contender and a player in the UK property market. If the day arrives when I realise, whatever, the forces against me are just too great and I can't do it, then I will sell the technology that I've built to the highest bidder. Because that will only happen if I fail to persuade enough of the UK's honest and decent estate agents that Best Agent is something worth at least considering. On the one hand, when I look at it, I think the chances of it failing are very high. But on the other hand, I think actually, no, I've done a lot of the hardest part already. I really have. And now it just remains for me to get 15%, or about 3,000 of the UK's most honest, decent human beings to decide to give it a whirl. It doesn't cost anything, there's no obligation for that, there's no subscription, there's no money required. Just give it a try and just be prepared to engage with any leads that come from it. That's all I need, about 15%. And that'll be the tipping point, not into market domination, but it'll be the tipping point into viability. But the reason I'm doing this video is because this morning I reacted to the news that On the Market was selling out to American investors for £99 million with horror and disgust at the way OTM has finally failed and let its agents down. And someone replied saying, hang on, Charlie, are you saying that if a private equity firm came along and offered you 100 million quid for Best Agent, you saying you wouldn't take it just because they're American? No, I'm saying I wouldn't take it, period. I wouldn't take it, full stop. Now, I can hear you watching this going, whatever, Charlie, yeah, right. But actually, I have had this question seriously tested already a few years ago. I was presented with a very attractive offer of investment, not even from a private equity company or venture capitalist, but from a data company. And I mean, it was a big enough offer of investment that it would have solved many problems, and hypothetically would have meant that Best Agent had all the capital it needed to get itself properly established. However, for reasons I won't go into in this video, there's a long list of reasons that I won't go into except for one. After serious consideration, I turned it down. I chose not to pursue it. And here's why. I sat down with Anne-Marie and I said to her, look, we've got to make a decision here, one way or the other. Do we go down the road of having partners, contracts, shareholder agreements, documented IP? I mean, just saying those things out loud makes me want to open the door and throw myself out of the car. Or do we go it alone? it led to further questions, which is, okay, well, if we do that, why wouldn't we just sell to as soon as a big bidder comes along with a really exciting amount of money, just sell out? And I seriously gave that thought some consideration, some serious consideration. And we discussed it at length. We discussed what happens if Best Agent reaches a point where everybody can clearly see that it is on the up, that it is growing its market share of the online mover customer base and agents. Because when that happens, somebody will come along and offer to buy it out. Somebody with lots of money. That's what's happened in the past. I mean, the last time this happened was with a website called Glowbricks that was doing really well. And it was taking market share. And Zoopla paid millions for it and just shut it down. I am not motivated primarily by money. I am motivated by money, but it is not my primary motivator. Because 50 years on this planet, frequently surrounded by people who've either been very wealthy their whole life or have come into enormous wealth, or one way or another have found themselves the fortunate, or not as it turns out, beneficiaries of substantial sums. I'm talking 8-figure sums of money here. Tens of millions. I've just seen it enough times. I've slightly lost my train of thought there, but I've seen it enough times to go, oh, that hasn't worked out like they hoped. Okay, so some of you might be saying, okay, fine, Charlie, look, you wouldn't sell it before it's made it, but what if it's made the difference? What if actually Best Agent has tilted the playing field, leveled it back, made it fairer, made it better? What's to stop you just deciding to sell out at that point to someone else who has other plans for it? And that's another question. Well, if it's got to that point, I will already be earning personally more than enough cash to fulfill all of my wildest ambitions. And by the way, my wildest ambitions include continuing to develop my aviation, my private aviation, my hobby flying, to the point where I can fly a seaplane that's big enough to carry my family around the world in a seaplane. Now, that's going to be something like an amphibious twin otter a seaplane, twin-engined turbine seaplane. It's a few $1 million to buy one of those, okay? And I know that sounds glib and, oh, just a few million quid, but my point is, Best Agent, if it ends up becoming a contender, will be worth substantially more than that. So if I can pay for that seaplane without having to sell the company, why would I sell the company? And the other thing that I really want to do is make films. I don't talk about it much. I've actually already made one film. I made a short feature. It's about half an hour long. I filmed it back in 2017. It took ages to do the post-production. And I made it. And I loved it. And I've got other films I want to make. But for the same reason I haven't got investors in Best Agent, I want to make films that I fund myself. As in, I won't be making films to make money. I'll be making films that I want to make. If it gets to the point where I no longer want to be running Best Agent on a day-to-day basis because I'm too old or just haven't got the energy, I want to retire, whatever else might be, and it's time for me to sort of hand over the reins, I am not going to sell it to the highest bidder at that point. My wish for it, should it become something really financially powerful and sustainable, would be to set it up as some kind of foundation where all of its profits go into trying to help make sure that the people of this country always have somewhere decent to live, one way or another. And if you're thinking, well, Charlie, that's ridiculous, you need so much money. I mean, Rightmove makes 200 and something million pounds a year of clear profit, right? And my vision for Best Agent as a platform, as a piece of technology, goes far, far beyond anything Rightmove's done. And it could be even more valuable if it succeeds. The thing that worries me most of all is my kids being disappointed in me. Not for failing. I will never, ever, ever worry about failing, because as long as you've tried something your best and you give it your best shot and it fails, that's no bad thing. And I don't know anyone who's ever resented their parents for trying something that didn't work out. Maybe there is, but I don't know anybody. But I can see them resenting me for being a sellout. And for saying I wanted to help everybody and then not doing it. And I don't believe any of us go to our graves at peace if we are regretting our decisions and wishing we made different choices so that our kids didn't hate us. And I just think too many people, when they're offered that big fat check, sometimes accept it and take it a bit too quickly. That even if Best Agent succeeds, I won't sell out. Because I don't want to hate myself. And if Best Agent succeeds, the income it'll make will be more than I will ever need. And I don't believe in hoarding vast fortunes and then burdening your offspring with unearned wealth, because I think that takes away their opportunity to make it for themselves. Suddenly they've got no challenge, no grind, no mountain to climb, and they just turn into, from what I've seen some of the time, wasters. Without special people in your life who you feel good being around and who make you laugh and who make you happy and who make you feel safe, it doesn't matter what you've got, because none of that will replace the emptiness that I've seen in so many people who've just chased the money. I'm chasing change. Real, lasting, tangible change. Just a bit, so that I can say I did my bit. Anyways, it's turning into a ramble. Call me weird, call me whatever you like. And I've discussed this with Anne-Marie, my other half, the mother of my children. She agrees with me. She's amazing because she comes from a background of extreme poverty. Literally. And she's utterly unimpressed by things of bling. Utterly unimpressed. She's only concerned with how you treat people, whether you're kind. I mean, literally. So it's a really grounding influence as well in that respect. And I said to her, look, we could lose everything. We could end up with nothing. We could end up literally with nothing. No live if this all goes to shit. Are you okay with that? And she said yes. Which is why she's amazing, and I am incredibly lucky to have someone, to be with someone who feels that way. So before I get all maudlin and soppy and emotional, I think I'm going to wrap this up. And if any of you want to call bullshit, call bullshit. I'm putting this out there. I'm putting it out there so that I stick to it, and so you guys can hold me to it. If Best Agent fails, I'll sell it to the highest bidder. And everyone in the industry, you had your chance to help me make it work, and if you didn't, if I was unable to talk you into supporting Best Agent, or at least just trying it, then that's my failure. But I'm just going to sell it to the highest bidder. But if it does work, I won't sell out. If it works, I won't sell out. If it works, I won't sell out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for caring. Wish me luck. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.